Okay, the Dractfear. This is the new playable race. We're gonna get into this. This looks really cool. So we'll see.
Hi, I'm Jake.
I'm Andy.
I'm Kali.
And I'm Graham, and I'm really excited to talk to you guys today about the Dractfear Evoker, our new race and class coming in DragonFlight.
We're here to talk about not only the Evoker, but also dragon riding, which is our exciting expression into the exploration of the Dragon Isles.
We knew with a dragon-themed expansion, we wanted to let you play a dragon. Not a big dragon, Alex Straza size. That'd be tough to fit into raids. I'm sorry, Jake.
Okay.
I know.
Fine.
But a draconic humanoid. So the Dractfear, created by Neltharion.
Yeah, they look
And
badass.
like our other hero classes, you get to choose if you want to start on the Horde or Alliance side on character creation.
So let's talk a little bit about the Evoker, the
Obviously
class they
Horde.
can be. What's unique about it is because the Dractfear are created by an aspect, they have the ability to wield the magic of all 5 dragonflights. So Evokers can take advantage of red magic and blue magic and bronze magic.
And to show that, we created a visual, what we call a prismatic effect. This prismatic effect is basically the coalescence of all their energy as they channel it into whatever spell that they're going to cast. You have a red magic spell called Pyre. So when you shoot it out of your mouth, it twirls in the air with all 5 of the Dragonflight's magic as it turns into the red spell
you
before
can actually see
landing
that.
on your
Holy
enemies
shit.
and exploding and hopefully burning
You
them
like
up.
all different colours and it all turns red again.
Getting that
That's cool.
vibe
That's
across
fucking
that they
effects,
use
that.
all 5 was really important to us, but we did want to make sure that each specialization focused on 2, because casting 5 different colors gets a bit messy. So their damage dealer specialization, their first of 2, Devastation, mostly focuses on red and blue magic. Red being very fast and explosive, burning everything with Pyre, whereas blue is more focused and overwhelming. You can shoot a beam of energy out of your mouth to disintegrate one single enemy in front of you.
There's
That's
a
really
healer
cool.
spec called Preservation. The healer spec is going to focus mostly on your
Healer, we
green
need
and your
more
bronze
healers, these
magic.
are
So your
more
green
healers
is
in the
going to be
game,
evocative of the Emerald Dream, your growth and your nurturing spells. And then you have your bronze magic, which is going to be more timey-wimey. So you get to heal a
Timey-wimey.
wound faster.
So in addition to the visuals and the animation, which all make you feel very powerful,
They look great.
we really wanted the
Animations
player
look
to
great,
have
guys.
a physical connection to the cast. We have a new type of spell called Empower, where when you actually hold down the button on your keyboard, it charges up the spell.
Oh,
The longer you
shit.
charge it up, it might do more damage or hit more targets depending on the
that's
spell.
cool. So
But
you
it gives you this
control
really
how long you hold it
physical
for, it does
connection
more
and
damage or
control.
heals
That's
more?
new for World of
That's
Warcraft, and I
great.
think is feeling really, really good.
We have some great animations. Thank you, Andy, your team.
Love it, Andy.
You feel physical when you're casting your spells.
You can actually fly around
Feel
the
more
battlefield
control of
and
the
cast
actual
while
casting.
you're flying.
Raining fire and
But they're
death from
spamming,
above.
actually
It's
spamming
great.
your buttons like everybody else does.
In addition to the gameplay, though, another part of feeling draconic is looking like a dragon.
Well, we talk about dragons breathing fire, but you know what's actually fire?
What's actually
These
fire?
customizations.
Oh my goodness.
But no, they're really, really
They're
cool.
awesome.
Because you have both your draconic form and your humanoid
They look
form.
good,
and
man.
the
They look really
customization
good.
options for both of them are amazing.
They're very good.
What about color? Just tell me you
tell
can
us about the
change the
colors.
color.
You can do a lot of matching. So your Visage form can have scales that are the same color as your Dractfear form.
But my favorite, super favorite part of customization for the visage form, hair.
Yeah.
Because I can actually do this in game.
Yeah.
The tech is here.
We finally did it.
As
good.
players
They're
make
doing a
their
good
way
job.
through each of the areas of the Dragon Isles,
They're doing a
they'll
good job,
partner up
guys.
with the Dragonflights to move through the air as they've never done
here we go.
before. You'll
Dragonflight.
notice I did not say flying because flight has a very specific meaning for World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it does.
And we're talking about something new called dragon riding.
And as the players
Which
are
you've
honing their
copied from Guild
dragon
Wars
riding
2.
skills, they're going to get to see all new animations that go along with the different look and feel
Which
of the
you've
drakes.
copied from Guild Wars
We're
2.
aiming to shake up movement with this new system, providing players with a deeper immersion with forces like momentum and gravity.
We knew that for DragonFlight, we were going to have the opportunity to show players a whole new set of Dragon Isle drakes, completely unique from all the other things they've seen in World of Warcraft. And so we wanted to come up with a movement system that would add that sense of physics, weight, and gravity, like you were
You've
mentioning.
copied from Guild Wars
We knew it was
2.
going to take a huge team effort, not just animation, but it was going to take effects. It was going to take the engineering team, who we rely on heavily, and that combined with some new animations really helps to lend that feeling of physics as you move
looks
through
great.
the air
Animations look good,
in
though.
ways that
Gotta
you haven't
admit, they look
before.
good.
And the icing on the cake is going to be some really cool effects that we've added on top of all of that. So for example, when you start hitting, maximum velocity, you're going to see contrails coming off the edges of the wings. And then as you do your rolls and spirals, you build up more and more speed. There's going to be some screen effects on the display to indicate that you're reaching maximum velocity, which really adds to the overall kind of immersion and sense of reality.
As players make their way through the Dragon Isles, they'll discover new cosmetic options to fine-tune their Dragon Isle Drake's appearances. Things like snoots, horns,
I like this.
tails,
I like this. I love this.
elusive
How you
Dragon
can
Isle
edit-
Drake
oh.
armor,
I
and
can
more.
edit your
Can I have
dragons and
spikes?
armor.
Definitely.
Okay.
Brilliant.
We want to provide players
Well
with
done.
all new skills to
Good
play
job.
with, as
Looks
those who
amazing.
can use their momentum well can reach higher and higher heights and bring on new, more difficult challenges.
We just have so many new gorgeous options to choose from, and I'm just so excited for all of them.
I'm excited for the whole thing. I mean, it's been a lot of fun to work on, but I can't wait to actually get in the game, play it with you guys.
I can't wait. I can't wait to fly around Dragon Isles. This is
Yeah.
gonna be great.
I can't wait
Next
to
up,
customize
you're
the
going to
dragon.
hear about the talent revamp and the UI changes coming in
Oh.
DragonFlight.
Okay. Yep, so let's look at the talent trees and system revamps. 2 more videos, guys, and we're done.
Hello, my name is Brian.
I'm Crash.
I'm Jay.
Hi, Brian.
And I'm Laura.
Hey, Laura.
We are very excited to share we are finally revamping the WoW HUD UI.
And it is also time for a
Finally.
major revamp to talents and specializations.
I have a big question for the group. How long do you think it took for us to finally revamp the WoW HUD?
15
My
years.
guess is like 15 years.
Close, 18 years.
18 years.
18 years.
Wow.
You know, technology has changed
A
a
long
lot since we
time.
made the UI back in 2004. Now you have like bigger monitors, and we have better dev tools to work with. So it makes sense to have the revamp right now.
Oh, it took you that
Also,
long
if
to
you look
try
at the
and
game
update it,
today,
really.
the art evolved beautifully over the years. And if you look at the HUD looks like it got frozen time.
So when we approached this, we wanted to create a layout experience that players could customize, move things around, adjust it to fit their needs.
Add-ons today,
So
they
the
do a
copy and
lot for
bartender.
player customization.
The downside is that not everybody uses them. It's about time that everybody has the opportunity to use them, that they become a part of the base UI.
Yeah, and we are working very closely with our user research team to make sure we are hitting the goals that our
It's
player
like
needs.
bartender's
It
going to be
allowed
no
us
use
to add
anymore.
new functionality, to improve accessibility in a lot of areas.
We'll see,
and
we'll see what it comes
on
out.
top of that, we are going to be improving the art.
Yeah, so the art update, it's a big part of this project. The UI that we have today has a lot of charm and personality, and players have been using that for 18 years. So with that in mind, we want to respect the players who really like the current UI, but do a modern take to it, removing the clutter and giving more visibility for your gameplay. So the new minimap, it looks bigger, and the health
that's
bar is
better.
also much bigger.
Oh,
if you look
that
at the
looks 10 times
action
better.
bars and the bottom menus,
Oh, that's
they have
great.
less
They look
head
good then.
frames,
They look really, really good.
and
I like how the
you can
map's a lot
really
more bigger.
open
The
up
map's so
your
tiny. in
gameplay,
the
so you don't have a
front
lot of
corner.
your UI in front of you. And of course, we want to find iconic pieces from the current HUD, but we want to bring it back in a nice way. So we for sure updating the Griffins. They look so nice now. And the Horde, don't worry, we got you.
Oh, so
you're gonna
we've
have
got
your
our own
version as
little,
well. So let's talk about the
icons
edit mode.
with
We
bars,
are
that's
putting
cool.
a mode in that will let players move various HUD elements around on the screen.
So I'm able to move the mini-map, say, from the right corner all the way over to the left corner. Or if I want to bring my action bars from the bottom and kind of put them more in the
Yes,
center by
yes,
my character, those
please,
are
yes.
all things that I'll be able to do.
Absolutely. And each of those
Right.
different components will have various sets of options that you'll be able to work with. They'll be able to save it, edit it, copy it, name it. Also, it'll remember which spec you're in. So if you're someone who jumps around a lot, as you switch, it will switch to whatever HUD layout you have for that
Yes,
spec.
That's good.
This is an ongoing project. We're gonna keep working on it. So we really want to hear
They're
back
basically
from you.
doing bartender. that's
A
all
project
they're
that we're all
doing.
excited
Great,
about
good
that
stuff,
we've been
good stuff. That's
collaborating
what
a
we want,
lot
that's what we
on
want.
is something that's pretty UI intensive, and that's the talent system.
It hadn't
Oh, here we
changed
go.
in a long time, like you said before. And we really started with how can we have players have more choice over what their character has?
As you level up, we give you a new spell or a new ability, something that kind of makes you stronger, but it's determined by the designers. We decide the order.
Yeah, we started looking for a system that would give players a much wider set of options.
And after looking at all those things, what we really returned back to was the idea of trees. But it's actually 2 trees. We have a class tree that offer different class utility, and then we have a spec tree that is focused on performing your role, whether that's
Okay.
damage, tank, or healing.
Can I just jump in and say that I personally am super excited about having trees come back. There's a big nostalgia hit
I've
for
never
me.
played trees.
As we said, we have
but
these 2
I'll give it a
trees
go and see how it
because we
is,
feel
and
like
we'll see how-
picking a
how we do.
specialization is a really important part of your World of Warcraft character now. And so we want to make sure that when you choose that, it kind of affects the tree in some way.
Yeah, as soon as you open your talent tree, you'll see something new. The class side will have some abilities filled out for free, just kind of starting you off in that spec you've chosen, but then you'll have your first point to spend in the class tree, which could be something related to that spec or role, or it could be something from elsewhere in the class.
There's a lot of things that we can do here, and part of that is encouraging players to perhaps make combinations that they've never really been able to see in the game before. This is an opportunity to put a lot more art and fantasy in the actual talent UI itself.
You have seen that a lot through most recent expansions, but not the base UI.
We want you to be able to tinker with it. You know, we want you to be able to make a lot of changes at a lot of times and not necessarily have to commit.
Well,
the power
hopefully
really is coming back
it says
to the
there at the
player.
bottom we can save
it's
them,
not
so
something we want
good.
people to feel locked into. And so one of the things that we'll be preserving is the ability to change these talents at the same kind of frequency that you do now.
Yeah, the old school players, when you see trees this time, just think, yeah, I'll go from my raid night to my arena match and figure out what I think is the best for both of those.
And that's a process we want to make really fluid. So we're building a save load feature that lets you
There you go, save
create
load.
your
Just about to
build,
say, save
name
load,
it,
so you
save
can
it, and then load it
pay
up
for
very
mythic,
quickly and freely.
PvP.
Talents were
Awesome,
really
great,
about the
that's
breadth
good.
of options. We've made all these different cool things over the years, but when are they at their coolest? It's when players can hold the building blocks of what can make up their class, their spec, and put them together in a way that works for them.
So these are really cool features that we've been working long and hard on, and we're very excited about them. And it's just an early preview of the things we've been doing. We can't wait to see the reaction that you have to them, and please reach out to us and let us know your thoughts on them.
I can't wait to
And
play
next
and
up, we're going
see
to
how
talk
it
about
is.
professions and DragonFlight.
Let's go, professions. This is really one of the things I wanted to see, so let's see how it goes. Professions rebound.
I'm
Let's
Joanna.
go.
And I'm Eric,
Hey,
and we're
Joe.
going to talk
Hey,
about our
Eric.
plans for professions in DragonFlight. Professions have been a staple of World of Warcraft forever, and they've seen lots of really cool incremental updates over their life. But for DragonFlight, we want to do something a bit different. We really want to rethink professions and figure out how to make them part of your identity as a player, if that's what you want.
We really want to make sure that professions feel fun and relevant across all levels of gameplay.
That brings us to our first update, something that we're calling crafting orders. If you want to have
Crafting
something
orders?
crafted for you, but you don't have the skill or the right profession to do it for yourself, you can have it crafted through a crafting order. You can basically
you pay
browse
someone else
any
to
of
do
the
it.
recipes that can be crafted,
Okay.
pick the one you want for yourself, and then you include some or all of the reagents needed for the recipe, including ones that only you can get your hands on.
I know they have this
You can
in
find
Final
someone in
Fantasy,
person to
so
do it
I'd
right
like
in
to see
front
if
of you
this
for
actually
you.
works.
Or you can also go to an NPC and using an auction house-like interface, send the order out. If you're doing this, you can pick, do you want to send the order to anyone, sort of a public order, or do you want to only send it to your guild, or to a specific other player? Maybe it's a friend who you know will be able to craft the item really well for you.
If you are really dedicated to your craft, you're going to be the best at what you do.
One of the coolest things about this is the item you had crafted can also be soul-bound. In the past, you could only get your hands on crafted soul-bound items by having that profession yourself. Now anyone can have them crafted for them, which is really neat and really expands the number of items that we can provide that are really powerful because everyone can have them crafted through the crafting order system.
This is also really cool because it means as a crafter, you can start building your client base.
Just like
People are going
Jim,
to come
well
back to
appreciated.
you to get certain items. Maybe you're the best at making it, or you always throw in a little something extra. You're also going to be leveling up your profession. It's going to be really great.
So the first time you go to craft, you're gonna notice a lot of different things, but probably the biggest is the introduction of
Cheers,
quality,
mate.
both to your crafted items and your gathered reagents. Quality works in a pretty simple way. If you craft something that's a higher quality, it's just gonna be better. For a piece of gear, that probably means a higher item level. If it's, for instance, a potion, that might mean a more powerful effect at a higher quality.
And we're doing a lot of new things in the UI. We've put a lot of work into it to make sure that the professions feel really special and unique.
And another thing you might notice in the crafting UI that's new is the introduction of stats, specifically
Stats,
to
okay.
professions, both
see what
crafting
we
and
get.
gathering. And this is another sort of major input into quality. Probably the biggest source of your ability to craft items at a higher quality is through crafting specializations. We've had crafting specializations in the past, as far back as original World of Warcraft. With DragonFlight, you can go out and earn specialization points in a whole bunch of
Hey.
different ways. So maybe you find an old book on a bookshelf in a ruin somewhere, or a hermit in a cave who can teach you a little bit about your profession. So let's say you're a blacksmith.
Okay, that's cool.
You might decide that first you want to become an armor smith. And the more points you spend in armor smithing, the better you're gonna get at crafting all armor.
This also means that
Nice.
if you specialize one way, other people in your guild may specialize in a completely different path. So this means that your guild could have several top blacksmiths and everybody is providing something unique and valuable to the team, which is really cool.
Now that reminds me of another update. We're actually adding crafting tables to all
Crafting
the
tables?
different crafting
Okay.
professions.
Just like
we're gonna
a
take
New
those,
World.
we're gonna put them all in the
That's
main
fine.
city of Valdrakken, and you're gonna go in there and you're gonna get to see all the different players crafting their items at their cool crafting tables.
That's cool.
Yeah, it means you're gonna walk into the city and you're gonna see like all these alchemists huddled over here, and you're gonna see all these blacksmiths over by the forge. There will be other
That's cool,
players
that's cool,
filling
that's good,
orders
that's
or
good.
grabbing orders. It's gonna be a whole new crafting area that's gonna make you feel really part of the world.
It's basically New World.
Seems like a much more lively area than it has in the past.
What I'm most excited about though is the gear. We're introducing new types of gear for every profession. And when you go to save, mine, and node, you're
No.
actually gonna just switch into that gear. It's gonna be really
Oh,
great.
we're getting
You're not gonna
gear?
have to carry that stuff
No
around in
way.
your backpack anymore.
Oh,
It's actually
sick.
gonna be dedicated slots for each of your pieces of gear. But I'm a numbers guy. I love progressing. All pieces of profession gear will have those
Get his own
special
gear for-
stats that we
for
mentioned before.
professions,
on
that's
them.
awesome.
And as you get your hands on better versions of the gear, it's really gonna help you get better at your profession.
You
I
know,
can't wait.
obviously.
Thank you for tuning in to the Dragonflight
That
Deep
is
Dive.
You've heard a
awesome.
lot about the content and changes coming in Dragonflight, and we've got a lot more in store for you in the coming months.
Until then, we'll see you in Azeroth.
See you later. All right, guys, that's the end of the video. Make sure you hit the like and sub. I would appreciate it. Let's go.